Yeah, you got to show that off. That looks pretty cool. I like the colors. I just want to work in my garden and hang out with my chickens. What's up, y'all? We're here again for another episode of True Talks. Today, I'm joined by someone who is very much so familiar face to Urban Threads audience, not to True Talks. So this is her first time on the podcast, and I'm so thrilled to have her on here. She's actually the owner of Carol's Vibrations. She's a great gardener and teaches a lot of different courses now virtually due to COVID-19. So far, we've tuned into, we've talked about food preparation with gardening and growing and how important it is to become food independent. But what we haven't spent enough time doing is talking about emergency preparedness. And she brought this to my attention. I'm so glad that she did. So I want Miss Carol Batey here to kind of introduce herself first, and then let's go into talking about ways we can all become emergency prepared.
Hi, I'm Carol, and I'm Carol Batey, and I own Carol's Vibration Skincare. If you want to find me later, it's www.carolsvibration.info. That is my website. I have several books on barnesandnoble.com and also Amazon under Dr. Carol Batey Prunty, Prunty. So I don't know how many of you live in Nashville or the surrounding areas or around the world. In Nashville, around March 2020, a tornado came through and ripped the core of Nashville. My husband and I live on a homestead in Goodlettsville. We were not affected, but there were many, many people that did not have electric, had to go relocate. The Red Cross had to move them out, and they was not prepared for that tornado. 2 weeks later after that, a windstorm came and the same thing happened. And they said the electric would be off for 3 or 4 weeks. My cousin lives in East Nashville, and he was out of his apartment for 4 weeks. Are you prepared for anything like that? It doesn't have to be COVID. It doesn't have to be a riot. It can be a windstorm, a tornado, where the electric goes off, or the roof comes off your house, and you have to go somewhere and relocate. When I was in the Mormon church, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, years ago, I'm not Mormon now, but however, I learned a lot of things, and I used to teach these classes. I mastered what I learned, and you've got to be prepared. And if you are prepared, you have less fear. I'm not going to say you're not going to be afraid. You have less fear. So first you want to start off assessing your household. In your household, it may be 1. This household, it may be 10. My household is 2 adults and 3 pets. You also need to prepare your pets because they have to go somewhere. And if the tornado comes and rips off your house, then you need to have emergency kits. This is just a regular backpack that was hanging out in our garage. These are the just regular backpacks. You don't have to go anything fancy. If you don't have a backpack, go to a secondhand store and pick one up. Don't spend a lot of money. It's not necessary. Then you need to think, what is it that I need? The first thing you need to do is water. You can live 3 or 4 days without food, but you cannot live 3 or 4 days without water. So this has water in it. These have what I have others that have water in it, and the seltzer water lasts indefinite, and you rotate all of this. What I'm showing you every season, every 3 months, you rotate it. You take it out, eat it, use it, except the medical the medical supply and the freeze-dried food. Everything else we're going to rotate. So you go, Carol, how do I know what I need? Well, this is what you need. You need cans of potted meat. And if you're a vegetarian, you need, and I have vegetarian food, you would need boiled peanuts, olives, granola, peanut butter, almond butter. And I have almond butter here that I purchased at Aldi's. And this little pack will sustain me for today. Far as my protein, then cans of tuna, packages of tuna. I haven't eaten potted meat since I was a child, but I will eat potted meat if that's what all I have to eat. This one is tuna with the crackers. You'll want to have sardines. Beef jerky, turkey jerky, any kind of jerky. And like I said, you tailor all of this to your family's needs. Whatever, if you're vegetarian, you want to change it. If you have dietary problems, you want to put that into your pack. Now, I have my water, but I have pink lemonade. I go to the Amish bulk store. You have to Google it and find it in your area. In my area, I'm 45 minutes to it, and I'm also 55 minutes to the other one. This was $1.29. This is enough for 3 or 4 days.
And what is it, Miss Carol? It's the Amish bulk store?
It's an Amish bulk store, and they sell everything in bulk. If I get to help you again in preparing people, I have a year's supply of food that I've put up, and some of it I've canned, some of it I got at the Amish, where I shrink wrap it, vacuum seal it. Like this right here is wheat for my year's supply.
Okay.
It has an oxygen absorbent, but for a 3 or 5 day kit, you don't need this. But this is for on down the road.
Okay.
And then I have, so this is just lemonade. So this has a vitamin C in it. You'll pour some in your water. You'll have some to share if you have to leave your home. We're not talking about safe shelter at home. We're talking about something happened to your home. Mm-hmm. And do you know where to go?
Yeah, that's valid points there.
The best place to go is to the nearest school in your area or a Latter-day Saint church, because their inside of their buildings are made with brico blocks, not sheetrock. That's brico block over here. I can't show you. And we all know what that is, concrete and not sheetrock. They're normally, if a disaster happens, a brico block in the inside will stand. So you want to get some, I also have Gatorade in powder from the Amish bulk store. This was $1.99, and it makes 1 gallon. So that's enough to put in my water to flavor it, give me some vitamins, and also hydrate me and my family and whoever else I'm sheltering with away from my home.
Now, Miss Carol, you mentioned packing some water. How much water would you need to take if you were packing for yourself and pets?
You really need about 2 of these. These are quart or 3. Okay. And if you have pets, then you need 1 of these for a pet for 3 days. Usually things are turned around in 3 days, but in East Nashville, the electric did not turn around in 3 days. This time, it was longer.
And then I'm actually in East Nashville as well, and we had an issue with the electricity just going out at random times throughout the week. So even if your area wasn't directly affected by the tornado, surrounding areas still had some issues.
Now you want to have in your pack, you want to pack any kind of matches, anything that can light. These are waterproof matches. You can get them at Walmart in the camping department, or you can get them on Amazon. You can get all of this at the Dollar Tree. You want any type of matches you can get, but waterproof matches will be the best for especially a water disaster. Okay, and if you go to Walmart, you go to the camping department, it's a whole bunch of things that are really inexpensive. You can also get freeze-dried food there. If I have water, I could put water in here. I have utensils that I got from there, and all I need is a cup or a bowl. And I have bowls, and just put it in there. It's already cooked, but it's freeze-dry. It's not going to be hot, but you won't starve. Just in case the red claws they house you, but they can't feed you.
Yeah, that's a good point, because a lot of people, I actually went to the North Nashville area and was helping people out there, and some of them had been rehoused and others hadn't, but they didn't have food regardless of where they were.
The expiration date is 2050.
Okay, so it's a long shelf life on that.
Long shelf life.
Gotcha.
You can also order freeze-dried food. This is Mountain House, but if you want to order on Amazon, you just type it in. On my long term, I have powdered butter, powdered cheese, powdered milk, powdered buttermilk, and it lasts indefinite.
Yeah.
I'll be able to pass it on to my kids, maybe.
Yeah, that's key right there. Look, because you never know what they may face.
Okay, so then the next thing that you'll want to get is some little bars. These are not cookies.
Those are the protein bars?
Yes, some little protein bars. I do have cookies. You want to make sure that you are as comfortable as you could be. So this is just some little protein bars. You want to Cliff, the brand Cliff or Luna. And you'll probably need 2 of these a day. You want to make sure that you have everything that you need for vitamins. So you want to make sure you have some freeze-dried fruit to make sure you're getting your vitamins. And so the dollar store sells these for $1. And they last 3 years from now, 2023. So I have banana, peach, and strawberry.
Okay.
No water's needed. And you have enough, in your pack. If you want to have another backpack just with other stuff, you can do that as well. But you need to be ready to move when it's time. And so mine is in a closet at the back door. Now, some medical things you'll want to have is if you're on medicine or you have to take supplements and you have to take those supplements, you want to get those supplements and have them in your backpack, because you don't never know when, where, and how. And have enough for like 4 or 5 days. And that is very important, because if your house was hit and the pharmacy is hit, how are you going to get it? You want to have, this is a space blanket that they use, that the astronauts use. I have one that's open. I'm looking for it. This is a Mylar bag. looks like aluminum foil. This
Okay.
will keep you warm, and this will keep you hot. I mean, cold, not cold, but cool. So it's hot right now. If I put this around me, I'm just gonna be cool. If it's cold, it's gonna keep the coldness out. And they sell these in the camping department of any store or on Amazon. They are Mylar bags. And they're called emergency thermal blankets. This is what the astronauts use when they're in space.
Okay.
Their clothing is made out of it. This is not a Mylar. This is a Mylar, but this is not a blanket. I store food. So I put food in this and then seal it, and it keeps indefinite. Now, you'll want to put some of these in your pack, because if it's cold outside or snowy, you can put this around your shoes.
Yeah.
Or you can put your hands in it. Get to the next school.
Yeah.
Go to a school. Go to a church that has brico blocks in the inside.
I didn't know about that at all. Thanks for sharing that, because I didn't know about that at all.
The Mylar bags.
Mm-hmm.
Long term, I put dry goods in here or whatever I want to keep, and it'll keep it. You can also put it on your head. I also have rain jackets, plastic ones, from 99 cents from Walmart. You'll want to have a variety of things. I also have clothes. My husband's clothes are right there, and my clothes are here. But you switch those clothes out for the season.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. I follow you.
Okay, so now important papers need to go with you, whether they are copied or not copied.
Okay.
This is a waterproof. This had wine in it, but there is not wine in here. Your dog, your pet information needs to go in here. Your will and testament, your Social Security information, anything needs to, this water can't get in here.
So the sheet protectors won't work, guys. You need to get you something that is water resistant on the outside if you're going to use it to protect your important documents.
So they'll know who you are, and you don't have, if your house is underwater.
Yeah.
The 2010 flood, people was trying, the boats took them back to go get things out of the house. But if you already have it, copy it, important pictures, marriage certificate, life insurance, home insurance, put it in here.
That is a very good point.
You may be on foot.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be in the car.
Yeah. And you may want your memories later on too. You won't have any way to remember the life before. Yeah, me and my mom talk about that often, but we do need to get, more proactive about doing stuff like that.
Now the next thing, COVID, we learned about masks. So I got these off of Amazon, and I got like 10 of them. Because it may be a chemical spill. We don't know. Our job is to be prepared and be proactive. It's not for us to know what it is or when. So this is a face shield that way, but I also have other shields. Home Depot. If it's gas or chemical, you want one of these. I also have the other ones that we've been wearing, the cloth ones. I have the disposable
surgical mask and that type of
thing.
thing.
We want lots of masks. Come in. Sorry. We want lots of masks.
That's all right, guys. We're doing this over Zoom, so if you experience any challenges in the video or audio, just know it's a Zoom meeting. Most of these are Zoom meetings, so well, all of these are Zoom meetings through COVID-19. So
Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is make sure we have our hand sanitizer. The COVID, we learned about the masks. We learned about not getting up close and personal. We learned about hand sanitizer. I make my own by adding some essential oils to the hand sanitizer to make it a little bit stronger. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I put it on my vents in my car, and on my steering wheel. So we want to make sure we have enough hand sanitizer. We can use tea tree oil, which I have essential oils.
Yeah, what are your top 5 essential oil recommendations for preparing?
Oregano, rosemary, cinnamon, clove, tea tree oil. So that's a start.
Okay.
That will come back. That will germ. You can put them all together or you can use them one-on-one. But you want to make sure you have essential oils in your pack. Let me get back to the water. I have water purification tablets here.
Is it the iodine tabs or?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the Coleman, from the camping department at Walmart. They are $2.99. So you have to drink out of this creek. You're gonna purify the water.
Yep.
If you have to drink out of the creek. Let's pray. Advil, bandages, puffs.
Miss Carol, we have a little bit more time before we have to get out of here, but go into how you've become this emergency prepared, or this prepared for emergencies. Let me reframe that question. I want you to explain to them how you've come to this point in your life where you just are spending more time preparing for cases of emergency.
This is what I made. And it has all kinds of salves that I make. I make first aid salves. I've been making them for 2 years. I make first aid tinctures, and I've been making them for 2 years. So this is one that I make as well. So instead of just buying it all, I tailored it for what I think is needed. First off, when I was in the Mormon church, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was taught that we need to have a 3-day emergency kit. Also, I was taught that we need to have the emergency kit in the car. Then after we do that, then we need to store water and some basic things, and then long-term storage. So after that, I started teaching it. So once I started teaching it, when I was like 29 years old, I'm 65 years old in September. So that's how long I've been doing this. My children live in Florida. When the hurricane comes through, they have to leave and go to a place. So I put them some kits. When you have children, I went and got games, cards, coloring books to put in my grandkids' kit. So that's how I got started. And I thoroughly believe, I've always canned since I was 26. I've always put up food, which is everybody's doing now. There's no canning jars. Right now, there's no canning jars. We bought 5 packages last night at Walmart in Springfield, and that was all it was.
Wow. Yeah.
Went to the Amish bulk store to get jars on Friday, and the ones I normally buy, they were gone. And so I had to buy these, and they were higher, but they were cheaper than Walmart. There's no jars, and I'm on canning sites on Facebook, and I put it out there, and they're all over the world, and there are no jars in the nation.
Yeah.
Everyone, since COVID, people are gardening. They've never gardened before. Whether they have it in a flower bed, front yard, or got someone to
Containers.
kill. It don't matter.
Yeah.
They are gardening. There's no seed.
Did you see where Baker's Creek heirloom seed had stopped taking orders and had people waiting? Yeah.
People, I just talked to my aunt today in Texas. She cut a tree down and she'd been in the house for 4 or 5 months. She says, I got something to tell you. I got watermelon growing. I'm like, how? I planted them where the tree was. She's from the country in Tennessee, and she has not planted anything but flowers. People, if you drive to town, people are planting in their front yard, and they're canning, and they've never canned before because there are no canning jars.
Yeah. So this is important. This is important, guys. I'm glad y'all joining us for this conversation. I'm super happy that you contacted me and wanted to do this. It's needed.
Yeah, I felt the need. I filmed this. I filmed it, but I didn't film this. I filmed something else for Dwayne Richards, how to make herbal first aid salves, but it's not out yet. And I feel the need because people are just in a panic. Mm-hmm. And they don't have a clear direction. And so I mean, this is a first for all of us. COVID is a first for all of us, especially if we're under 60 or 70. I say if we're under 70, this is a first.
Well, Miss Carol, can you talk about how your business, Carol's Vibration, plays a part in you being this prepared and what people can learn through your tinctures?
Well, I've been a canner since I was 26 years old. So people are buying my canned goods that I can. I'm not even advertising. They'll say, I want your VA juice. I want the Bloody Mary mix. They, and I have it right now. I wanted you to come over here because my husband's putting a hoop house over my raised garden as we speak.
Wow.
So that, so the deers won't eat my green beans, but 2, so that we can grow all year round.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the same. I really am, because I want to grow into February.
His PVC, whatever these pipes are.
The PVC pipes.
Yeah, I'll send you some shots. Okay. Of him, but I have to say one other thing. These pipes, this is the biggest that we could get, and these come off. The bottoms come off some kind of way if you're strong enough. They come off. So what would you do with this? Think about it, y'all. We don't know what's coming down the pipe, and we need our food protected. All of my jars in the basement are now in buckets, big, huge buckets, in case of water damage comes. And they're protected. So what would you do? Think about it. You don't want nobody to know what you got hidden.
Right.
So this is what this is for.
Smart. Smart.
I could even put a revolver gun in here.
Yeah.
And bullets. I could put a map. I could put dehydrated food, which I do dehydrate. This is fruit leather. I could roll this up and stick it in here, and no one would ever think except y'all that are listening. Come over here.
It may be a revolver in there.
To find money, you need to have like $1,000 hidden. It could go in here.
Look, you may have a revolver in there. Don't go over Miss Carol's house.
I went to the gun range.
Uh-oh.
That's a whole nother story. I didn't ever think I would hold a gun in my hand because I love peace and harmony, but signs of the time.
Right.
So my husband take me to the gun range, and I've been. But anyway, so
got that perfect shot down, huh?
From any plumbing supply house or Home Depot. This is the biggest one at Home Depot.
Gotcha. And hardware stores, right? You can go to some hardware stores.
Hardware store. Yeah. And you can hide things in there that you need.
Awesome. Well,
Don't
I
know
don't
what
want
you're
you.
gonna need.
No, you don't know what you're
So
gonna need.
one other thing I like to say, don't be afraid. Just go into quietness. Go into silence and ask the universal God, what is it that I need for my family to be prepared? And then work that plan at $10 a week.
That's good.
The second COVID may be coming or may not, who knows, in September. But if you start somewhere at $10 a week, stop eating out, even with your mask, stop going to fast food, and budget between $10 and $15 a week. You'll have enough that you need.
Yes, ma'am. I hear you. I hear you. Now, I won't let you leave before not plugging some of your classes and your business. So talk a little bit about Carol's Vibrations and how people can find you.
I teach classes in this room, and I teach them at other places, and I have books. So this is my passion, and this is what I love. And I teach one-on-one, and I also teach on Zoom. But I've taught 2 classes on Zoom for the first time in my entire life. So you can go to my website at www.carolsvibration.info. If you can come over here, I don't care. I have all kinds of gardens outside. I've expanded gardens. I've created gardens. Now I have more berries and fruit trees, and I have vegetables that I didn't have because of COVID. I'm growing my own vegetables as well. And I have dehydrators behind me over here, and I dehydrate. I teach classes on dehydrating. Those are dehydrators there. I have grinders to grind up whole grains. I have 3. There's some over there in the corner. And then I have a big, huge one over here that we got the Amish. If you're prepared, you won't have as much there.
Thank
And
you so
I am
much.
prepared, and I'm here to help you.
You'll be able to find all of her links on my stack of stories at www.urbanthread615.com, and find me everywhere at urbanthread615. And be blessed in every day that God gives you. Your life is full of purpose. Until next time, be prepared in case of an emergency. Deuces.
Thank you.